Folks, we have a new record holder for the brightest TV I've ever measured, and it's made by TCL. Welcome back, everyone. I'm Caleb Dennison, just back from an extended trip to New York, where I got to spend some time checking out TCL's 2024 TV lineup. In today's video, I want to take you through the TCL Q-Class lineup, since we have more info and details, including pricing, to share. Plus, I did get to measure one of the TVs and have some shocking preliminary results to share with you, so stick around to the end for that bombshell. There's a lot to cover, so let's get into it right away. TCL's 2024 TV lineup starts with its entry-level S-Class TVs. Now, because we have so much to talk about today, I'm not gonna do a deep dive on the S-Class. Just suffice it to say that TCL is offering a lot more TV for the money in this class than I've seen in years prior. And I think folks looking for the least expensive, bright and colorful TV they can find are gonna be drawn to the S-Class like a magnet. We may take a closer look at the S-Class in the future, but for now, let's zoom in on the Q-Class. TCL's Q-Class starts with the Q65 and the Q68. Now, like all TVs in the Q-Class, both the Q65 and Q68 get quantum dots for color and brightness enhancements. But where the Q65 is a direct lit LED TV, the Q68 adds local dimming, which we haven't seen at this affordable tier before. Most sizes in this class offer 60 Hz panels with variable refresh rate, but the 85 and 98-inch options have 120 Hz panels. That's right, there's a 98-inch 120 Hz direct lit LED Q65, and as you may have guessed, it's priced crazy low. Here's the size and price rundown for the Q65 series. You can screenshot that if you like. And then here is the price rundown for the local dimming armed 600 nit peak capable Q68 series. Next up is the Q7 series. Now here is where I think folks looking for striking picture quality at reasonable prices are gonna wanna go. That's my prediction. We'll know more once I've had a chance to give this series a proper review, but check out the specs and pricing. So the Q7 is where you get into mini LED backlighting with TCL. Now, a quick word on that. You're gonna be seeing TCL talking about QD mini LED. It's gonna be in their marketing, on the side of the box, yet another TV term, right? Well, sort of. QD mini LED is more like a statement from TCL. If you're a regular viewer, you've heard me say on this channel that just because a TV has mini LED, that doesn't make it great necessarily. Mini LED holds the promise of greatness, but ultimately just because you have smaller LEDs available doesn't mean you necessarily get more out of them. You need to have plenty of them, break them down into a sufficient number of zones, and control them well. TCL sees its competition putting mini LED in entry-level price TVs, and its response is to say, you know what? We're only going to implement mini LED when it represents a significant upgrade in picture quality. So that's what QD mini LED really means. It's marketing language for TCL says mini LED means a baseline of premium picture quality must be met, and that's what this is for TCL. Now, you can take that for what you will. You know me, all that matters is how the TV performs at this price point. With that said, the Q7 offers mini LED backlighting with up to 1,500 local dimming zones and up to 2,400 nits peak brightness. Again, that's according to TCL. The Q7 also sports a 120 Hz native panel with Game Accelerator 240 for up to 240 Hz gaming. We'll dig into that in the full review, but just keep in mind that sometimes that high refresh rate VRR spec comes with a trade-off in resolution that, honestly, most PC gamers are happy to make. The Q7 also has Dolby Vision IQ, IMAX Enhanced certification, FreeSync Premium Pro, a height adjustable pedestal stand, and a 2.1 speaker system powered by Onkyo. We'll also talk about that little licensing agreement in the full review, along with how it actually sounds. Here's the price breakdown per screen size. Shout out to the 65-inch coming in under $1,500, kind of like the Hisense U8N series. And now, my friends, we arrive at the QM8 series. The bulk of this series is represented by the QM851 models, and they range in size starting at 65 inches, working up to yet another 98-inch model. That's 3 98-inch options total, y'all. The QM8 is the pinnacle of TCL's picture quality and has the richest feature set. So here you get a special anti-glare screen, an ATSC 3.0 tuner, 2.1.2 speaker system with up-firing Dolby Atmos drivers, and Wi-Fi 6. Now, I'm about to tell you a little bit about the picture quality and a few special features that help make that picture quality happen, but right now, let's look at the pricing per size. This is about what we expected, maybe a little bit more expensive than the QM8s last year, but not by a ton. I'm gonna come back to the QM851 and talk about picture quality in a moment, but there's one more TV to talk about. You may remember this monster from CES. I'm talking about the 115-inch giant QM891. Without a doubt, this is by far the most ambitious TV that TCL has ever shipped to the US, and quite frankly, it is just nuts. I mean, look at this thing. And guess what, guys? I'm getting one in here at the studio for review. Can you believe that? You better subscribe now so you don't miss it. It's going to be insane. Now, TCL promises at least 5,000 nits peak brightness, but it's probably gonna do more than that. I'll explain that in a moment here. It's got 20,000 zones of local dimming, and to control that, it's got a special processor TCL calls AI-PQ Ultra. This TV also adds an Onkyo 6.2.2 speaker system. That's 6 main drivers, 2 subwoofers, and 2 up-firing Atmos speakers. And all the other goodies I mentioned earlier with the other 8 series TVs. Now, the MSRP on this was listed at $27,000, but I have it on good authority that the street price will be closer to 20 grand. Still a huge chunk of change, but I mean, it's a 115-inch TV, folks, and we better expect white glove service with this sucker too. Okay, so back to the QM851. I already let you know it's the brightest TV I've ever measured, but just how bright is it? Honestly, it is insane what this TV can do if you ask it to. Folks, I got no less than 6,200 nits peak from a 10% window. And actually, I got right around that number at some other test window sizes surrounding the 10% mark, including at 5%, which is a pretty good sign. 2% was over 5,000 nits alone. Full screen brightness was an insane 1,000 nits. And it appeared that it could hold 3,000 nits all day long. So again, that peak brightness number is for HDR highlights, okay? But still, 3,000 nits sustained makes for incredibly bright average picture level, and 6,000 nits, your mileage may vary, for highlights is, well, guys, it's straight up intense. Now, to be clear, in a dim room, you only want the highlights to get that bright. So it's important that the TV tracks the EOTF curve well. And fortunately, according to what I tested, it does. Just slightly above the mark, just a touch, but it is linear, and that's a good sign. And while the brightest whites do tend to be a little on the cool side in the color temperature spectrum, the overall grayscale tracking for SDR and HDR was pretty respectable. Now, we do see some errors as we approach the 60 to 80% bright region, but that can be calibrated out. The out-of-box performance in the movie mode picture preset was pretty solid across the board. Most color errors were well below the visible spectrum, save just a handful, and color primaries were very respectable too. I mean, brightness, black levels, and from the short time I got to look at it, shadow detail was very good on the QM8. Now, part of this performance boost has to do with the design of the backlight system, which apparently involves some lenses. It's not like MLA on OLED per se, but sort of a focusing lens that gets more of the light out into the room and less scatter inside. I know that sounds exactly like MLA, but backlit TVs function differently, so it's not like MLA. TCL has also broken down its mini LEDs into like 6 individual parts and has a ton of ICs controlling them. So blooming and halo is so minimal that along with the TV's insane brightness, you basically can't see any blooming or halo outside of extreme torture tests. What I did not get much time to check out was processing. So motion processing, low bitrate streaming content cleanup, that kind of thing. We gotta wait for the full review for that. I did see one thing that I would like to see smoothed out a bit, and that was a little bit of stair-stepping in the backlight as it faded in from black and then faded out to black. But these are early models with as yet unfinalized firmware, so it's entirely possible that what we'll get in our homes may not exhibit that effect at all. And I should clarify that nobody else in the room, other reviewers included, even noticed that stair-stepping until I pointed it out. It's really, really hard to see. You kind of gotta look for it. But I mean, I'm gonna be tough on this TV in the review because the stakes are high this year. I think TCL has a shot at taking a big bite out of Samsung's market share in the US this year. But to do it, it will need to perform really well in a couple of key areas, and that is one of them. Overall though, guys, like the TCL QM8 is gonna drop jaws, I guarantee you. Is it the perfect TV? No. As super picky enthusiasts, some of us will be talking about how it might be able to do this thing a little better or this thing a little bit better. But for the vast majority of folks looking at the QM8, it's just gonna knock their socks clean off. And for that matter, the Q7, watch out for that model. That could end up being TCL's best-selling TV ever in the history of the company's sales in North America. Anyway, suffice it to say, I was very excited by what I saw at this event. Now all that's left is to get these TVs in for review and go over them with a fine-tooth comb, and I can't wait. But I'll have to, and I'm afraid so will you. Just a little bit, because here's the deal, guys. I haven't taken a vacation in over 3 years, and that's on me. I get dug into this work because I love it so much, and next thing you know, it's been 3 years since I got away and unplugged and recharged. So I'm gonna go do that, and that starts in just a few days. I'll be back soon enough, just wanted to let you know that your boy is gonna go get some sun, sand, and surf and come back better than ever. Now, I'm pre-recording some You Asked episodes, and I'm excited to let you know that I'm starting a new series called Nit Nerds News that you can watch every week. Kind of a quick 5-minute hot take on the news that matters most. I think that you're gonna love it. I'm having fun making it. So you'll see me here on the channel, but the TV reviews will resume in a couple of weeks, and I thank you so much in advance for your patience. It will be worth the wait, trust me. Thanks so much for watching, everyone. Please tell me what you think about the TCL TV lineup down in the comment section so we can talk about it before I sign off on vacation. Don't forget to like and especially subscribe because all the hot TV reviews are gonna come in fast and furious very soon. I'll see you on the next one, and until then, here's 2 other videos I think you might like.